Hi guys and welcome back to Tommy's Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. Once again we have a great engagement here in between these two pro players. Let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. As you are spawning here in the upper right in the teal, it is Rude GIRLFAN. And his opponent, none other than spawning here in the lower right in the yellow, it is Scan from South Korea. So very interesting matchup here. Now very nice Protoss versus Terran. Sadly I don't have that much information here about Rude GIRLFAN, sorry. I did Google for him, but sadly I don't know who he is. I didn't find his AK, but many of you guys of course know who Scan is. He's of course very talented Terran player, also the coach from Protoss, and also very predominant streamer on a streaming platform, which I guess I'm not allowed to say. But yes, let's just have a look exactly what these players have prepared for us. Scan opening up here pretty standardly here with his supply depot into this position. And yeah, the map by the way is called Fighting Spirit, a 4 spawning location map, so a fast expansion would of course be a possibility here for these both players. But in the end, Rude GIRLFAN, I guess I'm just call him Fan in here, is opening up here pretty standard here with his pylon, with his gateway, so no intention from him to go for a fast expansion like BSU has shown us in previous replays on this map. And the same can be said here about Scan, who is placing here his barracks nicely close to that ramp. And apparently they are checking here lag perhaps. Scan is watching that TV building this barracks in here. Let's just see exactly if to what conclusion he is coming and so on. And yeah, but I think everything is looking very fine in here. I see also he's moving out now here with his SCV. Is it going to be SCV that builds an expansion perhaps, or is he just going for some scouting purposes? He's going for a scouting, and luckily for us everything seems to be okay. Pretty good stuff here by him. This should be a cybernetic score, nicely hidden here for the Protoss, so no fast expansion for these both players yet, as Scan has moved out here with his first scouting SCV. No scouting probe yet here for Fan. Pretty standard stuff here by both players. No early aggression, nothing out of the ordinary, just a typical Terran versus Protoss in here. Let's just see exactly what Scan is going to follow up here. Of course, many Terrans are considered to go for mass mechanical units, siege tanks, with Goliaths, with Vultures. Vultures early on very good against the Protoss with those mines, as Scan is already building here his first factory. Now let's just quick check. The Protoss, no Zealots yet on the map in here, as I'm pretty sure that he's going straight for Dragoons. So yes, indeed, no Zealots in here, straight for Dragoons. So we might see a aggression in here towards perhaps the expansion here from Scan, as this choke point would allow of course an aggression, and many Terrans of course follow up with a siege tank just to secure their expansion, perhaps placing it here into this position, maybe into this position, and so on. So yeah, everything seems fine here for Scan, so no lag for him, which is really good, as he's uplifting here his barracks, and he's just going to open up here the ramp here for a SCV. Perhaps his wish is finally to go for an expansion, as one of his SCVs is finally being taken out here from Fan. So Fan also moving out here with his Dragoon scouting the map, and he's also going for his first expansion at the almost 4-minute clock. So 4-minute expansion for the Protoss. Same can be said here from the Terran, as the first Vulture is also moving here out on the map. Please excuse me. Bunker is up, Marines are inside of it, as this barracks is perhaps going to land into this position just to block here the entrance a little bit. So no aggression yet from these both players. Add-on is being made for the factory of course, just to upgrade those mines and the siege tank ability, and everything really nicely and ordered here for Scan. Nice position of those supply depots. Still no aggression. Finally the first Vulture wishes perhaps to snipe a probe or two, but there's nothing in here as he's moving here towards that ramp, but there's no defenses in here, so this Vulture might kill a probe or two. Really great job here by Scan. A little bit of perhaps sloppy gameplay here by Fan, as he already loses here 2 even 3 probes. So this Vulture's really making a great job here for him. But at the same time, let's have a look. Fan, he's attacking here already the expansion from Scan, so this is why he couldn't defend. And yeah, sadly for him, he did lose 3 probes. At the same time, he's dealing a little bit of economic damage as his SCV have to repair this position, but Scan is in place with his tank, so he should be able to push this back, as no siege tank ability is being researched yet here by Scan, but he looks, of course, with that nice wall in here, with the barracks, with the bunker in a really good position. Both players are almost at the same working count. Remember, Fan did lose 3 workers early on, but he's recovering really nicely. Still no defenses in here, but then again his dragoons are positioned into this position just to see exactly when an army removal is going to come, as even more and more dragoons are being pumped out. The Scan is also moving out here, but Fan is nicely kiting here his dragoons, so we might just push them back and forward just to deal some damage. And yeah, Scan decides once again to defend, as at the same time this might be an expansion here for the Protoss. So really good job here by Fan with his aggression. Finally he's moving back to his main. Perhaps he fears a drop ship harassment here by Scan. Scan also moving out here with that vulture, just placing some mines around. And let's have a look at the upgrades. All the upgrades really nicely going here. Even a Goliath is being trained now here for Scan, as perhaps he also fears a shuttle gameplay here by the Protoss, and we did indeed have that robotics facility, but only for those observers. Observers, of course, much needed against the Terran, against these vultures. Once again, Scan nicely sniping here one probe. Still no huge engagement, as we're slowly but steadily closing in here at the 10-minute mark. No army is moving out, both players are on the defense, and let's just see exactly what the follow-up is going to be here by Fan. Fan, of course, like many Protosses, might go into some arbiter gameplay, into some more zealots. Carriers could be a possibility here for the Protoss, as Scan, once again, look at that, he's nicely spreading here his mines all over the map, just to see exactly when or if the Protoss is expanding. At the same time, he's still defending here at home. Really good job here by him. Worker wise, both at the same worker amount. 2 Goliaths just in case a shuttle drop is going to come in, even a 3rd Goliath in here. So Scan playing it really safely, as he's perhaps indeed going for another expansion into this position. So no punishment yet by these 2 players, and I don't see a shuttle gameplay or just being made for those defenses, and some probes with some dragoons are being transferred into the next expanding location in here. Perhaps Fan will have an economic advantage in here, as he's already at his 2nd expansion, and the 2nd expansion here for the Terran is just now being made. Even a starport is being made now, so we might see a dropship, we might see a science vessel race, could be a possibility just to harass the mineral line here from the Protoss. As a very macro oriented game here now by Fan, as he's just waiting here defensively, as in the end we're slowly but steadily moving here towards the 10-minute mark. Scan perhaps will finally move out here with his army. 0-0 upgrades here for him. And yeah, no, still defending. Scan does have a Scan in here. More and more upgrades are coming in here for Scan, so really good job here behind a science facility, of course, just to counter any arbiter gameplay with that science vessel, with that EMP shockwave. Almost a must if you're facing an arbiter gameplay, or even if you wish to take down the shields here from the Protoss. So really good job here by him. Fan also clearing out these mines, as he perhaps wishes to move out here and just expand all over the map. But if this continues, of course, Fan will have that economic advantage. So Scan really has to react. He's also expanding here map. Perhaps pretty soon he will also take here this location. And let's just have a look, as Fan has 7 more workers here than Scan. Even brings here a observer, so he sees exactly. And a nice army composition here from Scan, tanks with Goliaths and Marines, so really good job here by him. There's a nice Scan is going out here, and this first observer might get killed. No, it nicely gets micro out here, so really good job here by Fan. Scan is also nicely blocking here this ramp, so still no aggression. Very defensive gameplay here by both players. Fan is expanding into this position, still groups here his dragoons all over the map. Some small army move out is going to happen in here, but I'm sure he's just checking here the water here for some mines with that observer, so no aggression here by both players. Both players decide to play it very safe, as they both have surpassed the 100 supply mark in here. And still a waiting game here by both players. Nexus is already up, almost up here for Fan. Another Nexus is being placed here. But like I told you guys, if Scan allows this to happen, the Protoss is just going to send wave after wave of Zealots and Dragoons towards him, so he needs to make something happen. He does have that starport at home, so perhaps he's going to build some dropships. It would be very easy to make a drop into this position, as the Protoss is just keeping on pushing more and more gateways here out. Of course, pretty soon his economy is going to allow it. He even has that Stargate into this position, and makes his first Arbiter. So Arbiter, a must if you're a Protoss versus a Terran, just because your army will of course be invisible, and secondly you can cast that stasis field onto those siege tanks and just take them out of the game as they're being frozen. So finally we have an engagement in here, mines are being cleared, Scan is repositioning here his vultures, siege tanks are dealing some good damage here against those dragoons. So once again both players are poking around, but we have a nice vulture move out here by Scan, so perhaps he wishes to take down some of these probes into this position, maybe here into this position, so in come those vultures. Nice block here by Fan, but in the end once again he's going to suffer so much in here, as so many probes will fall here for him. Already 4-5 probes have been killed, so good job here by Scan, even killing more and more. Just shows us the value here from those vultures, as they're very fast, but Fan still has more workers here than Scan. Pretty good job. At the same time Scan is forcing here Fan to play it very defensively. He has to bring back those dragoons just to defend in here, and really good job here by Scan, as once again he's moving out here with his second vultures, but there already are some cannons into this position, and he does intercept some probes. So really good job here once again by him, harassing here the Protoss, laying down his mines. The Protoss comes in with those servers. He just needs to be careful not to make his way into those mines. He's able to clear that out, as he also has his first Arbiter out, and even making many more Arbiters. Spire needs to be killed of course by the Protoss, as he's blocking here the exit. Some High Templars are also being added here. High Templars very good with that Psionic Storm, especially against the Zerg players, but it also works apparently against the Terran, especially if the Terran has those siege tanks sieged up. You can nicely cast those High Templar Storm on them, if of course the Terran allows it. Remember, he has that Science Vessel, and Science Vessel with EMP Shockwave will just purge all of that mana here from the High Templars. Also take down the shields here from the Protoss, as once again we have a small engagement in here. Nice siege tanks. Check those upgrades really quick, 1 to 2 upgrades, and let's just check those dragoons, 0 to 1 upgrades. So pretty good job here by Scan, having more upgrades in here. In comes that shuttle with that High Templar, we need to be careful against that. And here we go, Zealots once again in the front, exactly where they should be, but Scan already has sieged up here his tanks, with so much damage being dealt left and right. A nice stasis trap in the back just to take out of those tanks. But those siege tanks are nicely being placed here, protected by those vultures, even protected by this tree. So really good position here for Scan, as Fan has to move out here back. Then just wait, as both players are almost at the same count of supply. However, Fan still having more and more workers in here, even adds another Arbiter. So here we go, once again an engagement. Vultures in the front are placing those mines, not allowing the Zealots to move forward into those siege tanks. So much damage being dealt here by Scan. Those siege tanks are not being targeted. Finally a nice storm is going out, perhaps many more storms are coming in, and in the end he even dropped some of those High Templars in the back. But Scan being able to hold this position, even a nice defensive matrix here, one of his tanks. However, the Protoss still has 20 more supply here against the Terran. Scan moving here forward with his vultures, with his tanks, and once again he's going to siege up in here. Perhaps those upgrades will be very good for him. Finally Fan finds a good position, a good flank here perhaps, but he's just not making it through to those tanks, as even Goliaths are now defending here those troops. So really good engagement here by Scan. Once again, even though he had less supply here than his Protoss opponent, all of a sudden he has moved up to 20 supply. So really good job here by him, as he's slowly but steadily moving here forward. with his troops, with his science vessel, and a nice beeline here being formed with those tanks. So great job here by him. And yeah, let's just see if Fan is going to have an answer. Perhaps he's trying for a counter attack. I see some of his troops moving here out. Perhaps he's going into this location, but he's also nicely being walled in, and one siege tank here in the back. This expansion is being doomed. It's going to fall as Scan somehow has made it possible in here, even though he had less workers. He showed us the value here of the siege tanks, but his placement with those vultures in the front was so good, and even those Goliaths very nice and protective here towards Scan. Scan also has a nice army in here, so he might try once again a snipe here for those probes. Nice position of that science vessel, just giving vision here for those tanks. Those tanks are nicely sieged up at the low ground, and yes, Fan is in some serious trouble as his main production buildings are here under threat. At the same time, his Scan is even moving out here with his army, second army here. Nice EMP shockwave has been casted here, so this Arbiter, sorry that I missed it, did lose all of that energy. So Scan, really great job here by him, spreading here his army. Siege tanks are once again going to siege up in here and deal so much damage. He does have that vision, he does have that science vessel, so he sees everything. At the same time, he's moving out here with a strong army, so this expansion is of course going to fall. So many vultures in here for Scan, as he's above 40 supply against his opponent. And he even adds another science vessel in here just in case of a DT, who is going to see that DT. And once again he's casting those defensive shields all over the map. So really great job here by him, showing us the value of this shield. Finally, more and more reinforcements are coming in here by Scan. So this looks very good here for him, as he's once again moving out here into the main, dealing so much damage against the production buildings. So Fan in some serious trouble, as with one Arbiter even might taken out here, but all of the production buildings have to be rebuilt here by Fan, but Fan decides to just GG out. Of course, this another army move out here by Scan would have been able to take out that expansion. So really great job here by Scan, even though he was low on workers, 10 less workers than his opponent. He did really well. Let's just check the stats really quick, as once again I'm going to be clicking left and right. So here we go. Sadly, I don't know who Rude GIRLFAN is. I did check for him on Google, but didn't find him. Did check on Wikipedia, also didn't find him, so maybe you guys know who he is. He did pretty well. A nice micro-oriented game here by both players. Against Scan, however, with that nice micro, especially with those vultures in the front, defensive shield on the tanks, move it out and just won here this game. So yeah, really great game here by both players. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Tommy signing out.